Hi everyone, welcome to Let's Talk. This is Oluja Kemosako saying welcome and thank you for always watching Let's Talk on DNT Work. It's indeed a great privilege and an honor to know that you're always there to watch us. And on this edition of Let's Talk, we'll be talking about a very salient topic, which is about AI. So on this note, I'll be saying the topic is ethics of AI development and deployment, ethics of AI development and deployment. And my guest is Ololade Faniyi. She is the African Regional Advisor, Frida, the Young Feminist Fund. She'll be doing justice to this topic. I must tell you that she's actually someone you would love to listen to. So please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on all of our social media platforms. Until then, enjoy this ride with us. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming on the show. It's nice having you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, can you please give us a brief overview of what artificial intelligence is all about?
So there's a lot of hype right now in this moment about artificial intelligence that is framing it as something new, something better than human beings, something fantastic. But the truth is artificial intelligence is just a model created by humans, trained by humans, based on the knowledge, based on data generated by humans, based on knowledge that it's just a bunch of numbers and a bunch of codes and a bunch of commands that says, based on this input, I give you forward pass and give out an output. But a lot of people read that as something that is outside of human. And so we are constantly comparing like machine versus human, but that's not true. The people labeling the data for artificial intelligence are humans. The people writing the code, the prompts are human beings. The people telling AI what to do are human beings. And so AI is a creation of humans that cannot, that basically does what humans tell it to do. That's the short form of definition of what AI is. And
Okay.
AI, yeah, and AI has existed for a long time. It's not a new thing. AI has existed. AI is basically has existed in like phones, um, uh yeah, Siri, yeah, AI has existed like for years, but right now in this moment there's a lot of hype that is making people think that this is a new and novel and beyond human thing, but that's just wrong.
Okay, so now from what you said, it's very possible that even AI makes mistakes, right?
Yes,
This is human creation.
yes.
All right, now looking at it from that point of view, like you said, it's been in existence for quite a while. And I know that this issue of Siri, Google, call this number, all of that. So now, are we saying that AI is just a universal name, but we also have versions of AI, like we have apps in Play Store?
Yeah, yes. I mean, like what's it called? Like our direction apps, Google Maps, like facial recognition software, the all the surveillance software, all of these things are all wrapped up under AI, the thing that when you open your phone, if you set up the facial recognition thing and you put your phone and it recognizes your face, that's all AI. So yes, it has become an umbrella term for so many things. And I think what is driving the rhetoric now in this moment is generative AI, and that's ChatGPT, that's the other models that you impute something and it gives you something else, or you tell it write an essay or put in a prompt of imagine a man holding a dog, and it gives you this image. So like generative AI in this moment has all of the hype, but like they're different forms of AI. Yeah.
So now, can AI systems be neutral or biased?
AI is political because it's basically humans that created AI. So AI inherits all of the biases of the human creators. So for instance, there's this Rolling Stone article that published an article about the women who warned us about AI. And it listed the names of women who have been working on, critiquing, auditing AI. So women like Safia Noble, women like Joy Bolawumi, and several other women on that list, including beyond that list, Abeba Bihani, Debbie Raji, who have been talking about critiquing, auditing these systems. And they found that especially with for Joy Bolaomi, she was trying to test the facial recognition software. And she found out that she is Ghanaian and she's a dark-skinned woman. And she found out that this model wasn't recognizing her face. And she um, kept wondering what was going on. And there was a white mask, a white horror Halloween mask on her table, and she picked it up and put it on her face, and it recognized the white mask. So
Oh,
it just didn't recognize black skin.
biased.
And yes, and
Yeah.
there have been several other, for instance, Abeba Briani is an Ethiopian computer scientist and an AI audit expert. And she was, when she was a PhD student, she was critiquing this model, this generative AI model. And she had put in, she and her team had put in a prompt like women CEOs. And what was coming out was women dressed like sex workers. And when you say men CEOs, they were men in suits, and so you realize that because the data on the internet that the AI is trained on is already biased. I mean, there are times when people will call out when they put in children in high school, black children in high school, or white children in high school, the images are different because like the black kids, there's a lot of like racial bias to the results that Google brings out. So because the data that AI is trained on is biased,
Mhm.
of course, what AI outputs is going to be inherently biased. So there is no neutral AI. AI is basically replicating human biases.
Now, recently, I think Oprah interviewed the AI guy, like, right, and we saw the different way AI can actually mimic somebody. She just said something, and it's AI picked it up, made it like hers, and all of that. And we know the challenges or the challenges that comes with it as a result of this mimicking, and anybody can use anybody's face. Now, this brings me to how do we balance AI-driven efficiency with human insights?
Hmm. So I work as staff researcher for this group called AI Network and Atlanta Interdisciplinary Artificial Intelligence Network. And at that last kickoff event, one of the grant awardees showed like the video, like a screen snapshot of the project he's working on. And one of the projects was on helping people with disability use AI. And there was this video that was so touching, like this disabled person who had for so long, whenever he wants to type an email, it takes him so long. And now with AI, he has been able to do something that would take him like 30 minutes in like 5 seconds. And he
Mm,
was talking about like this has changed my life. And this is the goal of this is the goal of technologies like this to help people who need it, develop like capabilities to be able to work and do that. And that's beautiful. That's great. What is problematic is the way that AI, what will you call them? What's the word to call them? Like this AI tech giants, the
okay.
way they are framing it as one, something better than human, and two, as something that is without biases. So we can acknowledge the beauty of AI in that it's helping a lot of people who need disability with the fact that AI can be a problematic tool.
Mm,
And for instance, and one thing that we have not been able to reconcile with for a lot of people who are even looking at like the positives of AI and trying to reconcile that on whether AI can actually be something that can be in service of people, in service of community, in service of justice, is the fact that the environmental impact of AI is something that we cannot just stop thinking about. I mean, ChatGPT's water consumption is so it's troubling, this data cooling system. So
Water
like a lot of
consumption,
this,
sorry, water consumption in what way?
yeah, that's what I was going to explain now.
Okay.
So a lot of these large language models are relying on data. And
Mm,
so the data centers where they collect like data of, everywhere, these data centers need cooling, and a lot of them need cooling with water. There was
oh,
this activist from Chile who had fought so much because the data centers in Chile during a drought, Google was using water to cool its center during a drought, and she had to fight like people don't have water, and you're using water to cool your system. And
mm,
the output of that long struggle was that Google said, okay, we're not going to use water anymore, we're going to use air. And so I was like, if you can use yeah, why were you using water? And so it becomes like something so problematic, like to ask AI to like Midjourney to create an image. You are basically using as much energy as you need to charge your phone. Now
mm,
imagine how much images that people are generating. People are just generating like you can generate like 100 images in like 5 minutes. Like, oh, prompt, imagine this, imagine that. And people are just having fun. Oh my God, look at what I created. And you're using as much energy as it takes to charge a smartphone. I mean, it probably takes you like an hour to charge your phone. Now imagine doing that spontaneously in like 5 minutes. And it just becomes so problematic. The carbon emissions of these data cooling centers. There's so much, like for instance, we're battling with the hurricane right now, and a lot of scientists are saying this is like one of the ripple effects of climate change. And
mm,
so there's so much that we need to be thinking about in terms of, okay, these technologies we're using, how can we take a step back and see that they're actually helping people and not creating so much damage so that a few people can have billions in their purses.
mm,
And that's there's so much greed. I mean, we live in a capitalist society, and so there's so much greed. People just shell out things. I don't think. I mean, look at the generative AI tool I told you about before, like how they just pushed out this thing and didn't realize that, oh, if you put into your system that women CEOs, what was coming out is women in bikinis,
mm.
And so um yes, there's some good to AI. There's a lot of questions about whether AI can truly be in service of people, but I feel like in this moment in time, there's a lot of bad that the good is
And
is
so,
very uncomfortable to acknowledge. Yeah.
okay, now let's talk about the educational sector, or basically using it for educational, projects and all of that. Now, would you say that anything you do with AI is plagiarism?
Last year, yeah, it was last year that the writers in Hollywood had fought to get AI banned uh,
Mm-hmm.
in Hollywood, and the president, I forget her name right now, but the president of this, I think Meredith Steinem, yeah, what she had the response she had given was like the statement she had given was that AI acts as a tool that is producing something originally. And so it has no attribution and it doesn't acknowledge. And that is plagiarism. Like I'm an academic, and in the academic space, if you write something and you don't, and especially if it's something that people have been doing for like, and somebody has written about it and you write it as if it's your thing and you don't acknowledge, you don't attribute, that is plagiarism. Now, the problem is that people see AI as something that is creating something that is original or something that is new. It's as simple as you have a bunch of papers, you put it into the system, and the system reads the papers. And then you tell the system, based on this information I give you, produce a paper. The system is not human. It cannot think. It doesn't have the human capacity to think. What it just does is it has this prediction logic. So like based on what it has read, maybe the paper is on um boys playing football or something, and you tell it to write a story about a boy playing football. Based on what it has read, it will say the boy plays football, and it reads through like the bunch of papers you put in, and it says San Francisco. In San Francisco, that's what it does. It just predicts, it just reads and forwards and basically produces an output that predicts based on the data you have given it. So it's not like this sentience, like the like movies that we watch, all of the sci-fi movies. That's not what's happening here. It's just basically passing the data you gave it and reproducing something else.
Okay, like I was talking about plagiarism. Like, okay,
Yes, yes. So yeah, essentially that is, and the problem with that, you get a lot of for instance, I work with students. I'm currently teaching for a class, and one of the things, like the first thing I told them in the class was, do not use AI to write something about this class because one, based on how we interact in class, there are some nuances I expect you to have that if you just put it into a tool and the tool gets it out for you, I can tell. I can tell that because this is not a mathematics class. Maybe it will be hard to tell if somebody is plagiarizing mathematics, or something. But like this is a critical theory class. If your essay has no citation and it's just like a bland like repetition of something that an AI tool an LLM reproduces, I can tell that this is machine generated. And so don't do that. And so yes, AI doesn't attribute, it just basically reads and reproduces. And what it's doing at least a good 10 out of 15 times is lifting a sentence from the data it has read and pasting it as a new thing. And so, yes, the short answer is yes, AI, especially in the context of education, is plagiarism.